Hey guys, how we doing? Welcome to another buzzing chat show. And as you can see, and no doubt work out, I'm not in Pattaya right now at the time I'm making this video. I'm actually up north. I'm in my home, and it's a beautiful sunny morning. You're going to hear the cockerels crowing and probably the dogs barking, whatever. But this is my far away from Pattaya lifestyle, and I thought, well, what better time than to sit down and answer a question I've been getting quite a lot now. And you may or may not be aware, but I made a video recently about things that you do or shouldn't do, should I say, inside an agogo bar. And I made mention to the Mamasan. A lot of people are sending questions about what is the Mamasan's role, you know, how do we interact with the Mamasan, etc., etc. Now, I know a lot of you guys there that are experienced and watch this channel, so maybe you can share some light on different things you may or may not have seen or experienced. But I thought, well, let's cover this. And also, another question I've been asked is about balloons. Why are there balloons outside some agogo bars and not others? And I know, again, you're probably thinking that's an obvious question, but it may not be. You know, it may not be. And certainly, you know, there are things that you need to be aware of when you do enter an agogo bar that's got balloons. And I'm talking about the balloons in the arches, not the other balloons. All right, so now before we get into that, guys, just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, please have a look at our Discord group. There's over 5,000, nearly 5,500 people on there, which is amazing, fantastic. Thank you very much indeed for being part of what is an incredibly good community now. So if you haven't had a look, join. There's a link in the description below. Have a look at that, pop across, and just have a wander around some of the chat rooms. There's photos, videos, girl information, bar information, general chit chat, news, up-to-date stuff, etc., etc. So go take a look at that and have a look. It'd be much appreciated. And also, if you haven't and you are considering joining our YouTube members area here, if you do join, please remember to send me a photo of yourself to 247pattaya@gmail.com, and I in turn will send you back your digital ID card, which you can start to use once places start resuming and opening up, which hopefully won't be in a too distant future. All right, so Mamasans. So let's talk about a bar. When you look at a bar or an agogo bar, even gentlemen's clubs to a big degree, yes, you have the owners. And the owners own the building, obviously, and own, well, not the building, but they own the business. But that is only where their responsibilities kind of stop in terms of how they interact with the girls. Generally speaking, in every agogo bar now, we have a lady called a Mamasan. Now, some agogo bars, the bigger ones, have 2 or 3, but many just have 1. But the point being is the Mamasan is the boss. She is the girl that all the other girls, or sorry, she's the lady that all the other girls go to. They often refer to her as Mare, which means mum. So they have that kind of respect for her. You know, you'll often hear her say, Mare, Mare. And they will be referring to the Mamasan because she is, generally speaking, a bit older, certainly a lot wiser, and she is like the boss of the bar girls. So what is her role? Well, generally speaking, the Mamasan will have been in the industry for a long time. Generally speaking, they will have a very good understanding of everything that goes on in the agogo bar situation or the bar scene, and they really are like the in-between. They're the person that will negotiate with the girls and the boss and try and get a happy medium. So when there's meetings being called and the boss wants to say, you know, let's change this or do this, the Mamasan is the lady that will interpret that to the girls and make sure the girls are fully aware of what is and what isn't expected. She's also the boss of the girls. So I know it's sometimes a bit difficult because we associate whoever owns the business is the boss. And yes, you're right. But here in the agogo world, the girls will very rarely interact with the actual owner of the business. They will always go to the Mamasan. So she is the boss, hence the association, Mare. So the Mamasan, what is her role? She is there to make sure that the girls toe the line and do what they're supposed to do as far as that side of things are concerned, but she's also someone that can be your best friend as well as your worst enemy. And by that, what I mean is this: the Mamasan will know everything she needs to know about the girls. She basically has the rotation of when they go on the stage, when they dance. You know, the girls will wear a number. You'll see them wearing the number on their wrist or on a badge. And on the board, you'll often see a black board with illuminated ink that will be all the different numbers. And basically, that's the rotation when the girls will go up and dance and when they will do their thing and when they're free to sit down and engage with the customer. But when you come in, the Mamasan will always check you out. She will always make sure that she knows what you appear to be and how you interact with the girls. She will always be watching and have that overseeing look about how things are going at that moment in time. So she will also be watching the girls. If you go in and you're sat on your own, she wants to know why the girl's not coming over and saying hello. And she will also maybe come up to you and say, hey, are you okay? Is there anything I can do to help you? You know, would you like any of the girls to come and join you? And I made mention into my video recently about tips and things to do and don't do inside the agogo bars. And I've always said, and I stand by this, you need to make the Mamasan your best friend if this is a place you are going to continually go back to. And I say that because when you walk in, if the Mamasan's like, oh, here's such and such, he's been in there a few days, she will be looking at the girl, say, hey, go see the customer, go and sit with him, and she will help you interact with the girls. Also, if she's your friend, and I say a friend as in like you buy her a drink, you chat to her, you know, most Mamasans have a very good hold on English. You know, they will be able to speak with you. Again, they've been around the scene a long time and their interaction with you is pretty good because they can speak the language. She will also be there to mediate. And what I mean by that is if you've gone and you've taken the girl out from the bar and you've gone off and had your evening and things maybe didn't go to plan, I've said this many, many times. Do not kick off at that given moment in time, particularly if you're back in your hotel room or you're out and about, because that will always 9 times out of 10 end in tears. And it'll be your tears, not hers, because when she calls the police or whatever, the security, guys, I don't need to spell it out for you. But you can go back the next day and you can speak to the Mamasan and explain everything. And believe it or not, the Mamasan will actually listen to you and she will speak to that girl. And I know many people that have had an issue that's been proven and the Mamasan's listened to the girl's story and her side doesn't quite add up, etc., etc. You know, you'll get your bar fine back and things like that. Don't think it's one-way traffic, because it's not. A majority of the time, yes, obviously the Mamasan is going to be on the girl's side because that's her role, but they will listen, they will interact with you, they will try and balance the situation back in everyone's favour so everybody's happy. Because the last thing the Mamasan wants is you walking around saying, well, I went in there and it was awful, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't want that. And likewise, you don't want to take a girl from the bar and then find it's an issue or whatever. So, you know, she balances those books. So, in terms of the Mamasan, you know, you'll easily identify her. Generally speaking, she's a lot older than the girls. Normally speaking, they sit in a corner somewhere and they will be near the board that I mentioned. And just pop up to her and go and say hello. You know, it's easy to walk past. Oh, hi, hello. You the Mamasan? Yes, yes. Some Mamasans will come up to you and they'll start to chat to you and make sure you're okay. And, you know, is everything okay? Do you like any of the girls? And it doesn't hurt occasionally to buy her a drink. I'm not saying that you should be buying loads of drinks, but I'm just saying it doesn't hurt to buy her a drink. Just be on her side rather than distant. The other side of the coin, of course, is if you're only going to go in there once and you think, oh, I don't like it here, well, then it doesn't matter. Have your drink, move on, job's done. So the Mamasan really is your point of contact, and she's also the girls. So just try and bear that in mind. Keep her on side. It's always better to have a Mamasan on side than it is off side. Balloons. Okay, so if you don't know what we're referring to, basically you'll walk around something like, I don't know, like LK Metro or Walking Street, and you'll see these huge big archways of balloons. You're thinking, oh, that looks good. You know, I wonder what that's about. That's an indication that they're having some form of celebration, be it an anniversary of the bar, be it a girl's birthday. You know, it's just an indication to people that may or may not be aware that there's a party going on. And with all parties, you know, you're normally going to get some free food. They normally have like the big pig roast outside, you know, the spit roast, they'll have those. You know, there's normally like a selection of different Thai dishes, some rice, etc., etc. So there is food available, and generally speaking, that's given as a freebie as part and package of the party. We used to call, well, not say used to, we haven't done it for a while, obviously we've been in the situation we're in, but it's not uncommon to see what we called and refer to back here as balloon chasers. In other words, people that will walk around and say, oh look, there's a party, I know there's going to be free food, so they'll go in and they'll nurse a Coca-Cola for like 3 hours and get their food and leave. So, you know, if you hear the word balloon chasers, you know what we're referring to. But hey, listen, each to their own. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that's how it is. Now, you might initially think to yourself, party, food, the girls will be having a good time. That's a great place. Let's go in. Be very, very aware that a lot of these parties do get busy. And I mean like really busy. You know, you go to somewhere like Queen Agogo, go to Babylon, Golden Time. You know, these places that hold these big parties, you know, they can get very, very busy. And that in turn will also mean that when you go in, there may possibly not be enough girls for anybody to come and join you because they're preoccupied, etc., or they're dancing, all those kind of issues. So again, be very aware that whilst it may seem on the outside going in that it's a good prospect, you might find you sat there thinking, well, this isn't very good, you know, all the girls are busy, the ones that aren't are dancing, and I'm sat here on my own. Just be aware, guys. The food aspect, no dramas, help yourself to the food. Often the service staff or the Mamasan or someone will come around and say, oh, the food's there for you, please go and help yourself and have some food. And if a girl is sat with you, she will happily go out and get you the food and bring it back to you. So again, you know, you don't have to leave your seat and, you know, maybe lose your space, whatever. You know, the girls will always interact with you and they're more than happy to help you. You're going to see a girl, if it is a birthday celebration, you're going to see a girl walking around with a necklace made out of money. And it's her birthday. And they walk around with a stapler and basically she'll come up to you and she'll say, it's my birthday. Hello, it's my birthday. And you're invited to put some money on there, maybe a 20 baht or 50 baht, 100 baht, whatever you want to put on there. It's entirely up to you, and clip it onto her necklace of money. And that's her birthday present. Now, I know people that have got carried away and put loads on there. I also know people that have stayed away and said, oh no, you're okay. Me as an individual, I think if you've taken the time to go in and enjoy the environment and maybe you've had some food, you know, putting 100 baht on the girl's necklace is not the end of the world, is it? But I do know people that have steered away from that, so each to their own. But if you like that particular girl, guys, get no illusions, okay? You are not going to be spending much time with her at all. Her sole purpose is to make the best out of this opportunity to walk around the bar and get as many drinks as she can and get as much money as she can. It's her birthday. It's her cash cow for that evening. So be prepared for that. Regarding the parties, there will always be the shot girls, okay? The girls will be walking around with trays of shots and they'll be encouraging you to have a shot, you know, shots like 100, 150 baht, whatever it is. So, you know, they will be trying to push drinks at you because remember, from the business aspect, they have paid for all the food, the decorations, etc. So they are trying their best to balance the books. So don't be offended or upset if you find you're in a little bit of a pushy environment in terms of like, oh, do you want a drink? Do you want a drink? And you know, do you want to put some money on the necklace? And the service staff will be razor sharp that night. They will be on you because they need to make the money balance the books. So that's what the balloons are outside. If you go to a balloon party in, like, say, maybe a normal beer bar, they're a lot less pressure. They're a lot more low key. They're just as much good fun, but obviously there's not as many girls as there would be as you'd find in a go-go bar. But realistically speaking, when you see the balloons, it is a birthday celebration or it's an anniversary. They are very, very busy, and be expected to go in there and spend some money. It's the way it is. So there you go. All right, so Mamasans, you know, if you've had an experience with a Mamasan, what it would be nice to do is, if you have had an experience, be it a good one or a bad one, you know, please guys, drop your comments below, you know, share. Did the Mamasan help you out, or were you left hung and dry when, you know, the Mamasan didn't help you out? You know, I've had issues before. I mean, I think I may have shared before about Apon, who was my first ever bar fine. Man, you know, she kicked off at me because I took another girl later on, and that all went pear-shaped. But Dim, who was the Mamasan there, lovely lady, had been a good friend of mine in the last 10 years. I still see her. I haven't seen her recently, sadly, because of what we're going through. But in the past, I've always seen her, and she's lovely. And, you know, when you make friends with a Mamasan, you've got a friend there for life. You know, the Mamasans are there to protect the girls, but they're there to protect you as well. And don't make any mistake about that. You make friends with a Mamasan, you've got a friend for life there. So, you know, if you have had an experience, guys, please drop your comments below. That's what makes what we do so special. All the interaction and all the engagement that we get there is fantastic. And particularly for the new people here that have not possibly been out to Pattaya, you know, it's great for them to be able to read through the comments and see, oh, okay, this happened, or that happened, oh, that's good to know, etc., etc. And regarding the balloons, as I say, you know, balloons are fun, balloons are parties. I'm sure you guys have enjoyed parties, and of course, without being, how do I do this? Without going into too much detail, when that's flowing, then, you know, things happen and all that stuff, and etc., etc. You know, it can be quite an eventful evening. So if you do venture into a party scene, don't be surprised to find that it does get a little bit carried away. All right, guys, so that's it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. As I say, right now I'm currently up in the village, and I am going to be back in Pattaya very, very soon, and hopefully, I say hopefully, it's quite depressing. I don't want to end on a downside, but, you know, hopefully things will be reopening very soon, and we can start to get this wonderful city that we all love and enjoy back on its feet, and start pushing the bars opening and alcohol, etc., etc., etc. So let's hope, fingers crossed on that. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Please, as always, remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when I bring out a new video. Please check out our Discord group. Like I say, there's over 5,500 members on there now. There really is, it's a fantastic platform to go in there, to interact, to meet new colleagues, meet new potential friends that are coming over here, partying and holidaying. You can ask all these kind of questions, like about the Mamasans, etc., like I've covered today. So please have a look on that. And if you haven't already, have a look at our YouTube members area. If you'd like to join that, please send me a digital photo of yourself to 247pattaya@gmail.com. And of course, I will in turn send you back your digital ID card. And then you can go into some of these places that we've already spoken to, and you get yourself a free buzzing shot. And incidentally, the people ask me, what is this buzzing shot? It's like a lemon and honey syrup with a shot of vodka, and you get a free one every time you go into a bar. The first time you buy your very first beer, they'll give you a free shot as well. So if you go out and, I know, you go 10 different places, you get 10 free shots. Not too bad, is it? All right, there you go, guys. Thanks ever so much for watching, and please, as always, wherever you are in the world, stay safe.